Welcome everybody. So yesterday was pretty uneventful, and this morning I got up for sunrise. I was actually woken up by the sound of the wind shaking up my tent, and it was really miserable this morning. Like, I stepped out of my tent, I took a look around. The wind was just so windy, and I was at the base of the mountain, so I could only imagine what it would have been like if I had went on my hike I was planning to go on. So I really skipped on sunrise because I wasn't prepared for this kind of extreme weather, and I kind of shifted my plan a little bit, and today I'm doing the same hike I planned for the morning for sunset. When I checked the applications that I use for tracking where the sunset is, relatively similar to the sunrise, just the opposite direction, so I will probably get similar conditions similar to sunrise. So I'm gonna do the hike, catch sunset there, and then head back to camp. I gave myself enough time to hike to the top to get set up and to photograph sunset, and I was hoping that the conditions would be ideal and better than this morning. But Mother Nature always has its own agenda. The 360 views here are really nice, but you are really exposed to the elements. Oh my god. The wind's like so crazy, it's pushing me, man. Oh my god. It's crazy. I'm just gonna do it handheld. So I just grabbed a few quick photographs handheld because despite the winds, that shifting dabbled light caused by the clouds above really piqued my interest. So I just had to capture a few photographs even if it was quick before heading back down. So I took a few photos with my telephoto lens and then a few with the wide angle lens. And I will leave you with this photo. Oh yeah. To think I was gonna wait here for hours. Oh, I would have lost my mind. Who in their right mind chooses landscape photography as a career? Sometimes I do doubt my intelligence. Oh man, this was brutal. Freaking rough. I'm exhausted from the wind. It's crazy. It makes you tired even though you're not doing anything. Not even 2 minutes I dropped and basically no more wind. Crazy, man, crazy. Man, that was exhausting though. I was maybe there like 20 minutes, half an hour max. That's all I could take. To think I was gonna come up here for sunrise when the wind was way worse. So right now, gonna head back down the trail, and the same lookout that I quite like. There is a vantage point on the trail, a bit lower, not as pretty as here, but there's no wind there. I can actually set up and take a picture at golden hour or sunset if it happens. So that's my backup, you know, because I don't know where else to really go to take photos for sunset. I was kind of hoping to do it at the top, but not happening, man. It's too challenging here, like always. Have yet to find calm conditions here. Just one day with calm conditions. Just really difficult. Oh well. Continue down the trail. Set up for a picture, and we'll see what happens, eh? Very fun though. So I got my camera set up here before the light quickly disappeared behind some dark cloud to my left there. So the reason why I went up that mountain like 4 hours before sunset is because I knew that the light might be better before sunset, because once the sun goes behind the mountain right there, it's just gonna shade all light. So I knew that the better light might be 3 hours before sunset or 4 hours before. So that's why I kind of went early to give myself enough time. I wasn't planning on the wind, so the shots I took from the top might have been my better ones from today. Here, the minute I got here now, the sun's behind some dark clouds, so there's no light anymore. That was the same light that was on the top. So maybe it's gonna come back. I took a few shots when the light made an appearance. Even here the wind's kind of a bit crazy, you know, so but I quite like it though. I mean, there's something interesting about the light happening here, so I'm happy with this shot that I got from here. I didn't have time to talk about it because I had to take advantage of just the light before it faded. And this is my issue with location. Sometimes where you are relative to the mountains and the sunset, you know, if the sun dips behind the mountain, might be interesting at sunset with the clouds, but in terms of good light on the foreground, it might just be too dark to see any of the appeal of such a view like this. You want to show it. So when I took this picture, I kind of set up my camera lower than initially set it up higher, because one, I wanted to hide the parking where I actually parked my car at the beginning of the trail. There's some cars there, so I wanted to hide it as much as I can by going low, and there's some trees to my left kind of covering it up, so it helps hide that. So that's why I kind of went low, and it's safer from the wind too. So as I predicted, the light was nicer when the sun was a bit higher, because now the sun is about to dip behind the mountain to my left, and it's behind some dark clouds, so the rest of the light is gone. So I'm just gonna take one more for safety. Now the sun came out. Looks quite nice now. Or maybe I'll stick around longer and take a quick one again. But now it looks really, really nice with the light. It's really filling up all my foreground with the whole valley. So this is what I meant to say, like when the sun comes out through those clouds, it looks interesting. I'm pretty happy with the shots that I got here. I think between the ones at the top and the ones here, I'll have to look at them at the computer. You probably saw them before I actually did. Do let me know which ones you prefer between the one at the top with the crazy wind, the one at the here a bit lower, or just a different composition of the same valley, same view. There's one more picture that I want to try down on the trail, since I'm actually here and I have a bit of time. It's not quite full sunset yet, and now the sun is gone, so might as well take advantage of that. Try to see if I can come up with a creative composition, something that piqued my interest down on the trail. I want to try it again. I tried it on my first day here, or my second day. I lost track, so I want to try that again, see if I can get something else that's interesting. Alright, gonna back up and head down. Picture that I want to try that kind of piqued my interest is just all these trees. I think they're birch, but they have a darker bark, and it's kind of green in color. It's got a green hue to it, and just the way they're all lined up, and it's just endless, and it's just kind of interesting. So I just wanna shoot with my wide angle lens here, try to get a shot of it. Just the cluster of trees. Definitely have to wait for the wind to die down before taking the shot. I'm gonna try to have fun with this one and experiment, because even if they do sway in the wind and it blurs out the image, it might create kind of a serene, tranquil image. So I might try that. I think what this needs is, I need it to be more blurry, because I'm not shooting slow enough. See if I do 1 second what happens, just for experimental sake. I want to try something with my 6-stop ND filter. I'm gonna put that on, take another shot, go for long exposure, wait for the wind to pick up. That was gonna blur the trees, and that should make for like a painterly, really minimal artistic photo. So I want to go against the rules here and try to blur the image on purpose. And I find that really interesting. So I'm gonna do that. Hopefully I'm gonna take advantage of the wind in this one to even make it even more blurry, but I'm gonna see how long it takes me with a 6-stop ND, how many seconds I get using the app I have on my phone. So just give me a minute to get that set up. Should be interesting. So if I plug in, I'm using the Lee filter here, the Pro 6-stop ND filter. So there's an app for that could tell me exactly how much time. So I just plug in my numbers here. So if I do 6-stop, it's 15 seconds. I can only get a gust of wind like the one I got at the top of the mountain. That would really make the photo. If I do a 10-stop ND filter, it gives me 4 minutes. I think that's really interesting. Maybe I should try that. Drop in my 10-stop filter here. Hit the timer and let it take the picture. And the beauty thing about it is I don't have to wait for the wind here. 4 minutes is plenty of time to actually get a shot, you know. I think the subject is so interesting here. Like I can actually shoot this kind of thing forever, but I just need one great picture here. I'm quite happy with that. So while that 3 minutes and 27 seconds to go, let's see how that looks. Curious to see it. Huh. This is odd. This is not what I expected, really. Oh my god, are you serious? Even a 4-minute exposure, it didn't have the result that I expected, which is crazy, because I expected it to be blurred out completely. So I'm gonna try one more shot at maybe like 6 minutes, or let's say, yeah, and see what happens. So 6 minutes and about 6 minutes 40 seconds it took to expose this picture. Let's see how it looks. Come on. What? Damn. That is crazy, man. There's definitely a blur, but not as much as I liked it. I want it to be more blurry, you know. I think I've reached my limit on that idea. So at the last resort, before I leave, I'm just gonna try this and see if that works. I'm gonna take off the camera off the tripod. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. I guess what I learned is you don't need a long exposure to do ICM. That quite doesn't work. Even if the trees are moving, it doesn't blur it enough. So definitely just nothing compares to deliberately moving the hand while exposing the shot. So after doing the pictures, moving it with my hand, at 0.5 seconds f13 ISO 50. This is the one that had the desired effect to what I imagined in my mind. So yeah, but it's fun experimenting with stuff like this because I like this kind of picture because it's breaking the rules and it looks really painterly as an effect. So it's quite nice to take. Gonna just walk around a little bit, take a few shots here between the trees because I'm surrounded by all these birch trees here that are interesting. So I'm just gonna have some fun with it, share those pictures with you to kind of end the video. For me, this is the photograph I was really after on this trip and makes it all worthwhile. There's something quite beautiful about it with the colors of the grass, the white birch trees and the blue sky all blended together that is ethereal and quite calming and painterly. And it urges the viewer to question, what is this photograph of? And I find it quite interesting and I'm looking forward to printing this photograph and putting it in the gallery. Well, thank you guys for coming along. I hope you guys enjoyed this video from this trip. I, for one, I'm definitely looking forward to doing more camping trips this summer now that things are kind of looking up a bit. I mean, it's been a crazy year, to be honest. I couldn't be happier to be back out because for like 4 months, maybe more than that, I really didn't have the feelings to go out with my camera back, take pictures, and I was sure that I was gonna lose that passion for photography. But after this trip I realized it's very much alive and I enjoy taking pictures probably more than before, given what's been happening with the world, you know. And I'm definitely looking forward to actually going back home too for a proper shower, because this was a rustic camping trip for me. This was a rustic camping trip for me, and no utilities, no services, so I pretty much been roughing it for 4 nights. So I do miss a proper shower, but when I probably go home I'll probably miss being back out again. So gonna enjoy this last fire of the evening, just kind of have like a mini party of one, and tomorrow head back home. So thank you again for following along, and see you next time. Cheers.